City of the Lord Church Lugo. Our pastor is Pastor Martin Williams Bunjo. And yes, it's always at 11 a.m. every Monday. Please don't forget to follow us every Monday at 11 a.m. So, this is your host, Chirawa Jennifer Jimbo, the host of the show, and the youth leader of City of the Lord Church Lugo. And just like we said the first time we had this show, that it will be on every Monday, and we shall be having more interesting topics to discuss, which are to build up the youths, because like you see our countries majorly, the biggest percentage is the youths. So we shall be having more visitors, and today we have our visitor right in front of us. Like you can see her, very smart, and she has lots of information to share with us. Please, you're welcome. May you have a brief introduction about yourself, and then we shall continue with the topic of discussion for today.
Thank you very much, Rama. My name is Asia Daniela. I'm an ETS, right?
Yes.
And I'm in my Form 6 vacation.
Maybe you can greet the Teso elites who are watching in your language.
Yoga Kere.
Okay, yes. So today our topic of discussion is attitude. Abatulaba mwena bambi tubaaniriza kweno program, era leero tugenda kuba nga twogera ku mulamwa ogugamba nti attitude mu Luganda kiwandiise engeri gy'olabamu ekintu. Gwe nga bw'olaba embeera yonna ebeereze mu bulungi oba mu bubi, gwe ogiraba otya? Yes, that's what we are going to discuss. And why we chose this topic? Okay, we want to know why. Like, there are very many other topics to discuss, but why attitude? Yes? So, our dear visitor, you see there are very many other topics, but we chose attitude, and we would like to know the reason as to why it is the topic of discussion. Maybe you tell us the effect it has, like the effect majorly, because the reason as to why we chose it is because of its effects, right? So, we'd like to know the effect of attitude to a person.
First of all, let me define what attitude means.
What is attitude and what is its effect? Yes.
Yeah, attitude is a point of view about something or someone, or simply your perception about something, someone, a situation, a circumstance. And remember, our attitude determines our moods. It also determines our reactions to circumstances or situations, and also our response to our daily life, our situations, circumstances, everything. And remember, attitude is one of the things that we can control or change. You can either choose to have a negative or positive attitude towards someone or something, and you can control it, remember?
Wow.
And also, attitude is everything. Just know it's everything, for better or for worse. Everything starts with attitude.
Yes, I love this. Like when she says attitude is everything, then I feel happy that we chose this topic because it's everything. So we want to know why it's everything. Like she said, it's your perspective about something. Gwengeri gy'olabamu ekintu, gye bayita attitude. And she has said we can control it. Now that is why we really need to discuss about it, because if you can control it, then there is a need to discuss, because if you had a wrong one, then you know that, hey, I can control, I can change, and I have a positive one. Yes?
Yeah.
Because she has said it's everything, so it's good to have a right attitude. So, do you mind giving us the positive effects, or the effects of having a positive attitude? Or on the other hand, the effects of having a negative attitude towards the situation, the circumstance, anything?
Thank you very much. Like I said before, it can either be positive or negative, but I'll majorly base on the positive because it's what matters. Yeah. So one of the things I know, when you have a positive attitude, it helps you to achieve your goals and attain success. Remember, where there is a will, there is a way. Automatically, there is a way. So when you have a will to do something, you're willing with all your heart and you have the desire to do it. And automatically you see yourself attaining it, or you see yourself attaining the success. It's just like having faith. You get? You already believe that I can attain this goal. I'm going to achieve my success. So it really helps us to attain our success and achieve our goals.
Yes. Okay, so okubeera ne attitude ennungi agambye nti kituyambako okubeera nga osobola otuukiriza ebiruubirirwa byo kubanga oba n'ebiruubirirwa naye nga mundamu ggwe tokkiriza ogamba ye nembeera mbi nga olina bayasi ku ggwe tewali ngeri mu buli ngeri yonna tewali ngeri gy'ojja kusomoka eyo mbeera bw'obanga ogiraba mubi naye bw'ogiraba mu bulungi n'ogamba nti yadde kiriwo ekiti nsobola even when everything around me seems to be discouraging I can make it. That is what we call a right attitude. Then definitely you'll make it. So I'd like us to look at the examples. These examples are common, and I also want us to look at them when we speak about attitude because they really bring out the point. That is when you look at the lion and the eagle. So what do you know about these two? The lion and the eagle.
About the two, they
And okay.
Okay, they are the kings of their domain. Like the eagle is the king of the bird kingdom, and the lion is the king of the animal kingdom, the king of the jungle.
Yeah, why I asked her, like, yes, they are the kings, but why? Are they the most intelligent?
Not really.
So are they the strongest?
No,
And not even the heaviest.
not even the tallest, the
You
largest.
see, the giraffe is the tallest, but it's not the king of the jungle. Now, the elephant, I think it's the heaviest, but it's not the king of the jungle. Maybe the hyena or other animals may be more intelligent than the lion.
Yeah.
But there is this one thing the lion has. There is this one thing the eagle has, which makes it to stand out of the crowd. This is what is going to make you stand out of the crowd. That is your attitude.
Yeah.
The lion believes in itself. The eagle believes in itself. They have a right attitude. They know that even when the others are tall, even when they may be more intelligent, but as long as I believe that I can rule them,
Yeah.
I believe that I can, okay, as long as I believe in myself, then I can be the king. Then I can control them.
And actually, that is why when a lion surfaces itself in the presence of other animals, the rest run away. Because it has this attitude, I have seen food, I have to go for it, and I'll get it.
Yes.
But the rest of the animals will be like, oh, the eater.
And
They
they run
run away.
simply because of
Attitude.
attitude. So what will determine your next level in life is the attitude you're going to show. Yes?
Yeah.
Remember, okay, there is this one thing I want to bring out. Attitude, our attitude comes from our belief. Our attitude comes from our belief. And you can never have like your attitude can never go beyond your belief.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you believe in? That is why when you believe in yourself, when you believe that I can make it, even when there are very many hindrances ahead of you, you will always make it.
Yeah.
Because you have that belief within you. So you go for that particular thing with the right attitude. And definitely, success is inevitable. So, mu Luganda, obanga wekkiririzaamu nga okkiriza nti nsobola okikola nga endaba ye ey'ekyo ekintu eri positive, ojja kukituukako kakibe ki ne wabeerawo ebiziyiza nga bingi naye nga bw'oli determined ogamba nsobola okikola, ojja kituukako kubanga ewali okwagala waliwo ekkubo. Where there is a will, there is a way. Wow, so as we continue to look at this topic, I want to give an example, and it's common to students in school. So the school-going children, will testify about this. When you have a given attitude towards a subject, towards a lesson, towards a teacher, or anything, or a subject, definitely that attitude you have will determine the results you will get in that particular subject, right?
Yes.
So when there is this teacher whom you don't like, you'll definitely, okay, when you don't like them, you'll have a wrong attitude whenever they come in class, and you'll hate the subject, and sooner or later you'll realize that you don't like to revise that subject, and then at the end of it all, you'll fail. Nga gw'ogamba nti nze no subject bangamba nzibu. You see, that is actually there. It will help us bring out this point of what you believe in. Like, when you believe that this subject is hard, maybe your father told you, in our clan, no one has ever passed mathematics. Ewaffe tewali yali ayise math. Ewaffe teri ayita biology. Ffe tetukola sciences. Ffe tetukola kino. That is what you believe in. Definitely, even when you go at school, because of that belief, when you're in the lessons of those subjects, in Gorimo lesson, you'll have that attitude. After all these things, even my dad knows it is our clan issue. Bino byaffe bya kika. Era even my dad knows bino tetubikola. Byaba like they are those who you even start compromising. You know, when you have a negative attitude, even things you can do, you withdraw, right?
Yeah.
You start compromising. Byaba kolamu. You know, they tell you, do this and this, and like, ebyo byabali abalina sente, ebyo byabali abalina obwongo. God put a brain in each one of us. And each one of us has a unique ability. But you have to realize it. And you have a right attitude. And you ignore all the voices you hear around you. Because there may be some discouraging voices. Not like what we have said. Your father has told you you can't pass. If he failed, it doesn't mean that you will also fail. That was his attitude, but work on yours. Today, you may be the first person in your clan to pass that mathematics which you've been failing. So,
Actually, I'd like to add on belief. So it starts from belief, then to destiny. Remember that our beliefs become our thoughts. What you believe in is what you always think of. And our thoughts become our words. And our words become our actions. Our actions become our habits. Our habits become our values. And lastly, our values become our destiny.
okay, I love this theory that our visitors wrote about. It definitely brings us to this, to the point that your attitude will finally, at the end of it all, determine your destination. So when you have a good attitude, you'll have a good destination. When you have a wrong attitude, definitely that thing which you have a wrong attitude towards will not go right with you. Okay, so we are going to, I think we should look at the biblical view of attitude. So we are going to look at these interesting men of God. You see, you may be like, maybe by'abazungu ati tubitegeera naye katukulage nti ne bayibuli kennyini ekulaga nti abasajja abalina attitude ennungi be baawangula. The men who had the right attitude overcame. We are going to look at David. So what do you know about David from the Bible?
Okay, what I know about David? Yeah, first of all, he was a son to Jesse,
Remember the
the youngest. And he was anointed by King Samuel. And the other thing is that when everyone withdrew from the battle that was between the Philistines and the Israelites, it was David who outstood. Yeah. So he outstood and went to face Goliath. And at the end, he won.
Wow. Okay, so now the discussion is getting more interesting. Now, when you look at David, was he the tallest among all Israel?
No.
In fact, he may have been the shortest because even the way the Bible describes him, that he was he was short, and even when you see when he went for the battle, everyone was like, "You were a boy," like they were even calling him a boy because his three eldest brothers went, but they were afraid of the battle, and you know they were well built up. But for him, he was the shortest, he was the youngest. But because of his attitude, he put down a giant. So because of your right attitude, you will put down those giants before you. Now let's see somehow the details of King David. We now call him a king, and he's spoken of in the Bible because of the attitude he had. If he didn't have that attitude to come out and surface before this giant, to put down this giant, who would have known King David? Because he was always rearing sheep.
Yeah.
They always kept him behind.
Remember, he was not known when he was in the bush. But after facing Goliath, he was known.
Yes.
You get? And that was his it was his journey to kingship. And actually, we should not fear the Goliath in front of us. That is, it depends on your attitude. If you have a positive attitude, then you will not be afraid to face any big giant before you.
Okay. So you may be like, yes, I sometimes have a right attitude, but then the things I hear around me make me believe that I cannot make it. Now, I want to show you that even King David had these things. So when you read in First Samuel chapter 17, from verse 1 to verse 58, you'll get the clear story. But let me read these verses, verse 26. Like, because of time, we shall not read the whole chapter. But when you read in First Samuel chapter 17, and verse 26 in particular is one I want to read, then we shall also read 33. David asked the men standing near him, "What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel?" Ha ha. Okay, so do you know why I laughed after reading this verse? Like, even when the others withdrew, they were afraid. Yes, they knew what would be done to a person who would overcome, who would save Israel from this disgrace. So they knew, but because they had that wrong attitude that this man is very tall, no one of us can overcome Tewaria Sobolamuangura, they withdrew. But David, on hearing, in him, he was like, "Yeah, I can do this." Like, he had belief in himself, and in the God who made him put down those lions which were attacking the sheep, put down the bears and whatsoever. He knew that I can do this. So for him, he asked what, like, he looked ahead of this, like he surpassed Yatunula, like, how, I don't even how to say this, like, he didn't look at what is in front of him, because he knew this one automatically I have to overcome. But what will be done to me after? Like, it was automatic for him that I'm going to overcome.
Yeah.
And indeed, he had to overcome. So, even you, those giants which come, just look at it with that attitude that I automatically have to overcome, and see what lies ahead of them. Like,
Actually, David set a standard for Israel. Because there's this saying that says, when the world stands up, you have to outstand. And when the world outstands, you have to stand out. And when the world also stands out, you have to set a standard.
set a standard. So David set this standard. Wow. So that means you have to do something different. And you cannot do something differently when your attitude is negative, no? It starts with attitude. So let's read verse 33. Like, this one, I wanted to bring out this, that even when the giant was still alive, David wanted to know what will be done to him after putting down this giant. That is attitude. He knew that he would overcome this giant. Yamanya nti nino chiwangula naye munankolera ki? Yasooka babuuza, what will you do for me? I automatically have to overcome this because of the God I carry with me, because of the God I carry within me. Let's read verse 33. Verse 33 of chapter 17 of Samuel. Now this one I am reading it because I want to show you that even him, he had these discouraging comments, like being told to him. Now listen to what the king told him. Saul replied, "You are not able to go out against this Philistine and fight him. You are only a boy." And he has been a fighting man from his youth. So you see, this comment is really so discouraging. Like, they told him, "You are only a boy." Now, can a boy go against this man who has been fighting over the years? Can a boy really win this man? It takes a boy who has worked on his attitude, who knows what they believe in. And that was David, who became a king later on. So even when many people speak, even when they tell you, as a subject is abasajja, you see that kind of thing, you cannot do it. You are disabled. You cannot do this. No. You overcome that kind of belief, because she said that we control attitude. We can control it. So meaning you can change that thing you've been believing in, that me, I can't do this. You can change it, and then you start having a right attitude, and then you become a king in that thing, like King David. He was a boy, but he became a king.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I've learned something about David. It helps us to show self-esteem and confidence. And with that, you attain the example that you have been striving for.
You gain that self-confidence. Okay, so let us also look at this other example, and that is from Joshua and Caleb. Those two young men, the attitude they carried within them made them to reach the promised land when other people failed. So the attitude you'll carry right from today, like after seeing this video, will help you reach where other people have failed. Now let us read in Numbers, that is chapter 13, the whole of chapter 13. Then also chapter 14. We are not going to read it, but I'm saying this scripture said that in your free time you can get the details of these stories. Bw'obanga ofunye obudde oba omembredde mba osobola osomayo mu kubala sura ya 14, essula ya 13 n'essula ya 14. Eyasoose yabadde Samwiri ekisooka essula ya 17 yonna yonna. Kaakati Yoshua ne Caleb twagala tubatunire kubanga nabo balina ekyokulabirako ekirungi ku mulamwa gw'olwaleero. That is Numbers chapter 13. So it shows us, okay, it's kitulaga nti these men were sent to explore the promised land. Babasindika bagende balambula ensi ensuubize Katonda gye yali abasuubiza, and they were sent by Moses and Aaron to explore the promised land because they knew that it is flowing with milk and honey, but they wanted to know more of like what is there in the promised land before we go. So they sent these men to go and explore. These were the leaders of the clans of Israel. So when they went, yes, they saw the land, and it was flowing with milk and honey. Okay, they saw the villages, they saw the towns, but because for them, when they saw these huge men, automatically they believed that for us we cannot overcome this. Now this is the wrong attitude that they were carrying within them, and automatically we say that it leads you to a destination of failure. So these men, they immediately said that they saw themselves as grasshoppers. Like when you read, they say that we seemed as grasshoppers to them. When you have that wrong attitude, you look at yourself as a grasshopper. Mu Luganda bagamba akakyaka, like bagamba tulinga ng'obwakyaka, twabadde ng'obwakyaka gye bali, like the sons of Anak. For these men, they saw themselves as grasshoppers when they compared themselves to them. And that is the report they carried back to Moses and Aaron. But when you look at Joshua and Caleb, the report they carried back, yes, they saw all those things, but they just decided to have a right attitude. They say that we can overcome them, we can conquer them, we can take that the land which was given to us, we can own it. And indeed, when you're to read in chapter 14 of Numbers, these men reached the promised land. Joshua and Caleb, while the rest failed because of their wrong attitude, these two were able to reach the promised land because of their right attitude. So you're going to reach somewhere where others failed. Maybe your clan members failed. Maybe your classmates failed to excel. Maybe every other person failed. But because of the attitude you will carry towards that thing, you're going to reach somewhere where others failed. And we say the attitude comes from belief. So as we conclude, I want us to speak more of belief. Someone may be out there saying that, yes, you've said attitude comes from belief, but even where do I get that belief from? Maybe kati okukkiriza nze nkuggyemu okwekirizaamu, maybe when you look around you, everything seems to be discouraging. Maybe you're like, me, I'm even lame. Maybe like David, you're like, I'm just a boy, I'm just a girl. And maybe when you look around you, there is nothing encouraging. Yeah? Like I thought of that. Maybe someone will be like, no, me. Attitude comes from belief. Even my beliefs are all down. Like zona zimala mbu